This looks awesome.
What's awesome?
Nothing.
I see you're not going to be at work tomorrow?
Yeah, it's my kid's birthday tomorrow.
Oh, I didn't know you have kids. So birthday, huh? What's his name?
My kid's name? It's Kelsey.
Your boy's name is Kelsey?
Yeah, well, it's an old name that means ship's victory. So it's gender neutral. He's 7. Yeah, so tomorrow he'll be 8. That's how birthdays work. You know. Yeah, that's how it works. So that's why I'm calling off for tomorrow, December 6th.
Okay, now you're not calling off because of Path of Exile 2 Early Access tomorrow now, are you?
I don't even know. What is that? Is that like one of those Diablo-like games?
Don't you dare bring that up, okay? Okay? We're Diablo. We're Diablo-like, all right? And we're gonna normalize it, okay? Okay, well then why are we looking up keyboards that work best with WASD, huh?
You went through my search history?
Can you explain that?
Rod, I think you need to take it easy, man.
You're a traitor?
Maybe we should play it.
Okay.
I'm just saying, know your enemy.
You're a traitor, and you're fired.
You're firing me?
Yeah, pack up your shit. Get out of here.
Alright, fine, dude, whatever. You know what? Blizzard North made Diablo awesome, not you, so let's just... Fine, forget it, whatever. That's fine. Okay.
Starting tomorrow, my intro music will make more sense because we will have gear, you know? It won't just be theoretical gear in our minds. So, looking forward to that tomorrow. Let me know if you liked this skit.
How much Path of Exile versus Path of Exile 2 have you been playing?
So at this point, I have to admit, I don't play much Path of Exile 1. I actually find it very hard to go back to because the combat is just so much worse than PoE 2 from my experience.
Yeah, he can't do it anymore because the combat is so much worse. Dang, dude. So if this interview would have come out like months ago when all the Doomers had the loudest voices, they would have been so pissed. But you know what? Don't really hear as much of that anymore. This is actually good news, believe it or not. For some people who might be like, oh no, like he doesn't want to, he's trashing PoE 1. This is actually kind of good news. He can't go back, you know? And I think that's absolutely what's going to happen for all the ARPGs. I think like nobody's going to want to go back to an ARPG that doesn't feel as good, doesn't look as good, doesn't sound as good, doesn't have as much customization, doesn't have as much quality of life. I just learned that you can buy a guild stash tab for your buddies in your guild so that you can just drop items in it. And you can all share that one stash tab, just you guys in your guild. I'm like, dude, that's awesome. Like me and my brother, we're gonna use that. Just text him later, like, yo, dude, I dropped a sweet crossbow in the guild stash. Check it out when you get home. It's gonna be sick.
I just really want that nobody, like, if you go to forums about, like when we release a new Path of Exile 1 expansion, one of the top comments outside of our community is always, oh, I tried that game, but I just thought it felt really bad or really old or something like that. I just want to make sure that no one ever again says that our combat isn't best in class. Like, I want to make sure that we don't have that criticism anymore. I just don't want to see it again. And so, that's why I'm really motivated to make.
Yeah, I love this passion from him here. He's like, I never want to see this again. I don't want anyone to look at my game and go, your game looks bad, you know? Because he's like, it's not a bad game, but it appears bad. And I think I'm proof of concept for this. I've never played Path of Exile 1. Every time I looked at it, I just thought, I don't know, Diablo 2 looks better to me still. You know, especially after like Diablo 2 Resurrected updated its graphics, and I got really sucked into that. I think I'm proof of concept for this. Jonathan and the team and all them, they did an incredible job making sure the game looks as good as it feels to play. I don't think anyone that likes this style of game is gonna say like, hey, your combat looks bad, you know? Like, no way. And that also ties into what I was saying earlier about not wanting to go back. You're just not going to want to go back to a game that doesn't feel as good, right? Maybe outside of like some nostalgic reason or something, but yeah. So, and I just wanted to say a quick thing about the ascendancies. If you don't want to know anything, then this would be a spoiler, I guess. Have been posted by GGG. I guess their hand was kind of forced because of the leaks or whatever. But if you don't mind me generally talking about them, I'll just say this, what I like about it, okay? I like that each ascendancy that we've seen so far isn't so specific that you couldn't use it for like anything, So the monk ascendancies, for example, there aren't nodes on there, like significant nodes that are saying like quarterstaff only, They're way more generalized so that you could even probably be a caster and be an invoker monk or a hand of Chayula monk, which is really interesting. You could use crossbows and be an invoker. Same with something like the Stormweaver, which has the double shock stack, and it's got the nodes for ice or lightning, and everything can shock, every damage type. Those are so significant and generalized that you don't have to have a certain weapon type or even certain build to pursue that with the archetype you're going for. What about minions? There is no necromancer ascendancy right now, and I kind of hope it stays that way, and that minions are more viable in a multitude of ascendancies, because if there is a necromancer ascendancy, then you're locked into that one if you want to play minions, right? So I don't love that. I in Diablo 2, for example, I loved making hybrid minion builds. I made druids that had wolves and a bear, and he would shapeshift and attack melee as well. I made a druid that was a ranger and shot bows and stuff with minions. I made necromancers that were hybrid and melee and had summons. I made sorceresses that used enchant and summoned wolves and enchanted all the wolves. I made a barbarian in Diablo 2 that summoned several creatures and buffed them with auras and stuff. And I made an assassin that was a warp strike team that would use the kicking dragonflight move to kick in with an army of summons. And it was really cool, man. Like I love hybrid minion builds. And so I hope there is not just a specific ascendancy that's just node after node of like minions are buffed, minions are buffed, minions are buffed. Because then you'll like need that to play minions or something. And so I'm a fan of what they're doing right now, just in general with the ascendancies. There's build defining mechanics, but nothing that's forcing you, I think it's really cool.
These are the 5 things you need to have a long lasting game. And if you look at Diablo 2, which also had all of these things, Diablo 2, which of course we, were very highly influenced by when we started our studio, this was still being sold in stores like 10 years after it came out. There's like no other game I can think of that has that kind of long-term run in retail.
So yeah, Diablo 2 is a huge influence. On my channel, that's what my channel was mostly about. So my progression into Path of Exile 2 has been very organic. I started talking about it on stream last year, and then started reacting to videos like 4 or 5 months ago. And then I started making content like actually on it. So I really appreciate people checking out my videos and subscribing, because the YouTube algorithm right now is just totally saturated with people trying to become like Path of Exile 2 content creators right now. And so it's really tough. Even like my last 2 videos I did, I both think are really great. So please check them out. I worked really hard on them. They're not low effort content. It's like lots of editing and thought provoking stuff. So please check that out. So plans for tomorrow, I'm gonna play the game solo. Might jump in and out with my brother. He's a huge Path of Exile 2 fan right now as well. Basically, I'm going to go monk, if you didn't figure that out yet. That's a lot of my content focuses on that. I kind of see the game through the monk archetype. That's kind of how I like filter everything. I'm like, oh, I wonder what a minion monk would be like. I wonder what a fire monk would be like. I wonder what a trigger monk would be like. I wonder what a pure invoker monk would be like. I wonder what a corrupted poison monk would be like. That's kind of how I filter the game right now in my mind. And so definitely going monk. There's a part of me wants to go straight through just like the path that they've kind of set out for you. So it's just like stay within the monk passive side of the tree. Don't do anything too crazy. Just got to get a feel for like how that performs. This is early access after all. and we are going to be giving feedback and reporting bugs and all that kind of stuff. Another part of me wants to do something crazy though, like start a mercenary, be like a witch hunter, and go quarterstaff, fire nodes, and like totems and craziness. You know what I mean? Like, part of me wants to try that too, but I mean, I guess there'll be time. I'll do it all, right? So that's kind of the plan. Let me know if you really want to see my gameplay. I guess I could record it and just upload it. Maybe I'll do some drop highlights or some progression vids, just to let you know how it's going, how I feel about the game, like if there are any cool drops that I had, what bosses were cool, you know what I mean? Like, I guess if you're interested in that, just let me know. That'll kind of help me at least decide, because it's not like I can really make like a sick like end game off meta build anytime soon. We got to get like a bunch of stuff to do that. Yeah, so just let me know what you'd like to see.